Good, happy Sunday morning. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, police arrest New York man suspected of stealing guns. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Make it McMokin Chevrolet.
Winner of Chevy's Dealer of the Year Award. Lease the 2016 Silverado Double Cab LT 4-wheel drive for only $259 per month with no money down. An award-winning truck buying experience will be yours at McMokin Chevrolet.
Portsmouth police shut down Woodbury Avenue to arrest the suspect who was in a hotel room, and it turns out he was wanted on a warrant out of New York City. 36-year-old Barkham Brown is under arrest, accused of stealing guns and having drugs with him.
Mr. Brown is a felon. He was wanted out of New York State on a felony-level warrant.
Police say the Bronx, New York man broke into a home Friday morning on Middle Road in Portsmouth and took several guns. Investigators figured out he was staying nearby at the Anchorage Inn. Knowing he may have had weapons with him, officers shut down Woodbury Avenue Saturday for a brief time.
To apprehend him, we utilized the Seacoast Emergency Response Team and the Stratford County Special Operations Unit.
Authorities convinced Brown to leave his hotel room.
He surrendered peacefully after speaking to the team negotiators.
Brown will be charged in Portsmouth with burglary, fugitive from justice, felon in possession of a firearm, possession with the intent to distribute cocaine and heroin, in possession of burglary tools.
No, I don't know what he was doing here in Portsmouth, but he was involved and he was charged in connection with that burglary. He was charged with 5 felony counts out of Portsmouth and 1 misdemeanor count.
Eventually, Brown will be extradited back to New York, but for now, he will answer for the alleged crimes in New Hampshire. The circumstances surrounding his time in Portsmouth are unclear, but police are satisfied with how it ended.
We are very happy to get him off the streets. In fact, he was held on $75,000 cash bail, and he is currently incarcerated here at the Rockingham County Jail.
Before he faces a judge in New York, Brown will be arraigned in Portsmouth on Monday morning. In Portsmouth, Mike Cronin, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Rockingham Park to close next week. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Are at McMokin Cadillac. Lease today the 2017 Cadillac XT5 Luxury all-wheel drive crossover for $499 per month with no money down. The journey is just as important as the destination at McMokin Cadillac.
Well, Rockingham Park in Salem has been sold and the doors are set to close for good next week. The general manager is now organizing a public auction to sell memorabilia from the property. Some of those items date back to the early 1900s. WMUR's Kristen Carosa has the details.
Horse racing here in Salem began in 1906. Now, 110 years later, the building behind me is set to be closed for good. But before that happens, you'll have a chance to take home a piece of history. After more than a century, Rockingham Park in Salem has been sold and is about to close.
When they close this place, it's a way of life that's gone forever.
John Bonney was one of many who came to play charitable poker and watch simulcasted horse racing for one of the last times before the doors close next week. A day he says he's not looking forward to.
Rockingham Park means so many things to so many people. I mean, it was probably the greatest tourist attraction in New Hampshire.
It's a place that brought in millions of customers to Salem over the years, which in turn created hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue for the state.
We've run thoroughbreds, harness racing, all kinds of different shows, expositions.
Park president and general manager Ed Callahan says the property went on the market earlier this year, and it's currently under agreement with a new owner.
We've gone through the due diligence period, and if everything works right, in October, the closing will occur on the real estate.
A piece of real estate with years of history inside it, and now an auction will allow people to buy items that have been inside the clubhouse.
We've got pictures from the opening, 1906, all the way through the last couple of years.
All types of jockey photos, harnesses, thoroughbred photos, and promotional material will be up for grabs, as well as equipment, vehicles, furniture, and gaming tables. Essentially everything inside must go.
There'll be catalogs available and online right after Labor Day, and hopefully people who have a great memory of Rockingham will have an opportunity to bring a piece of the rock home.
The auction will take place on September 24th and 25th. Again, the building here in Salem will be closed for good next Wednesday night. Reporting in Salem, Kristen Carosa, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Officials ID canoe drowning victim as teen vacationing. Authorities have identified the victim of a fatal canoeing accident as a teenager who is vacationing in the mountains with friends. The New Hampshire Fish and Game officials say Ciel Mansubial and 3 friends were canoeing on a pond in Stark just before 1 a.m. Saturday when the canoe capsized and Balliol drowned. The 3 others safely swam to shore. They have not been identified. Rescue crews found Balliol's body around 8 a.m. The 17-year-old recently moved to Bedford from Pixonville, Illinois. Police say alcohol and drugs appear to be contributing factors, but the matter is still under investigation. The group was canoeing on North Pond, located in the mountain area of northern New Hampshire. Clinton Foundation official requests state lunch invitation special seating for foundation allies, emails show. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
To do a hefty job. Hefty.
Hillary Clinton today received her first national security briefing right here in New York, but that comes with now mounting questions tonight about her family's Clinton Foundation. An ABC News exclusive, new emails show big donors hoping for big favors while she was Secretary of State. ABC's Devin Dwyer has more.
Hillary Clinton entering an FBI office in New York today, no aides by her side, for her first national security briefing as presidential candidate. A top-secret sit-down that lasted more than 2 hours. The meeting comes as Clinton now faces new questions about the Clinton Foundation and whether top donors received special treatment while she was Secretary of State. ABC News has obtained these emails between then-top foundation official Doug Band and Clinton's inner circle, documents obtained as part of a lawsuit by the conservative group Citizens United. In one exchange, a request from the foundation for invitations to a state lunch with the Chinese president. On the list, executives from 3 groups that donated millions to the foundation. That foundation official also requesting that one of the guests be seated at Vice President Biden's table. Clinton top aide Huma Abedin replying, "I'll ask." In another exchange, Abedin is asked to pass on a message to the ambassador to Malta on behalf of a great friend and big supporter of the Clinton Foundation. That big supporter donated more than $1 million. Abedin passes on the message, also writing, "No need for action." Donald Trump has been pouncing.
It's hard to tell where the Clinton Foundation ends and where the State Department begins.
Both the Clinton Foundation and the State Department deny donors got any special favors or influence.
My work as Secretary of State was not influenced by any outside forces.
Tonight, the State Department tells ABC News it is not inappropriate to consider suggestions from outside groups. The Clinton Foundation says these emails are not related to its work. Cecilia?
Devin, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Southwest flight forced to make emergency landing. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Don't trust a wimpy pilot to do a hefty job.
Hefty, hefty, hefty.
We begin tonight with that scare at 30,000 feet. An engine ripped right off a plane shortly after takeoff. The packed passenger jet coming in for an emergency landing. A Southwest flight from New Orleans to Orlando, more than 100 people on board. These images just coming in, terrified passengers saying they heard a loud boom. The pilot reading the emergency checklist, passengers forced to put on their masks as the cabin lost pressure. The investigation is underway at this hour, and ABC's Adrian Bankert starts us off.
Tonight, an in-air emergency. This Southwest jet losing one of its engines.
Engine failure, lost number one engine, we're descending.
The pilot breathing heavily as they go through the emergency checklist.
Disengaged, expected engine confirmed, we're down to the line.
This image showing the jet engine ripped apart is what the 99 passengers on board saw as they looked out their windows.
We heard a loud boom. It sounded like an 18-wheeler tire blowing, and you started smelling smoke.
Oxygen mask deploying. That's passenger Stephanie Miller and her husband Michael putting theirs on.
Children were screaming and crying.
Flight data shows the plane above 30,000 feet, quickly descending more than 20,000 feet in just 8 minutes.
Our ears started popping pretty bad since we were going down pretty fast.
The Boeing 737 landing safely in Pensacola only about 30 minutes after takeoff.
The point here is this was not just any engine failure. This was an explosive event, and this is very, very rare. And it's very dangerous because in this case, the engine actually threw a piece of metal into the cabin, and it was close to where somebody was hitting. Somebody could have easily been killed.
Southwest telling us that they're cooperating with federal investigators. Meantime, those passengers are saying that they're thankful for that pilot who kept them alive. Cecilia?
I'm sure they are. Adrian, thank you.
Okay, and that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a fantastic Sunday and see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.